Right. So as we discussed just now, sentences, right?
Right, sir.
So how many parts are there in a sentence? Two parts, right?
Two. Right. Subject and
Predicate. Subject and predicate. This is what we discussed just now. All right.
right, sir.
So now my simple question is, how many types of sentences are there? How many types of sentences are there?
Types of
Yeah.
sentences.
So I given a little bit hint. There are four types of sentences, right?
Assertive. Declarative. Means something declared.
So how many types of sentences are there? There are four types of
Four types.
sentences. So assertive or declarative sentences, imperative sentences, interrogative sentences, exclamatory sentences. These are the four types of sentences. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's start discussion of one by one in detail. So assertive statement means a statement which gives a declaration or confirmation, right? Declaration or
Right, sir.
confirmation. For
Information.
example, yeah. So for example, he speaks. Is it a sentence?
English.
No, no, no. He speaks. Just stop for a while here. He speaks. Is it a sentence?
Yes, it is.
He speaks. He speaks or birds fly.
वो बोलता है. Right.
Yeah, birds. Yes.
In Hindi.
Yeah, birds fly. These are not the sentences, right?
Okay.
So what we discussed, what is meant by sentence? A group of words which gives complete meaning,
Yes.
right?
But he speaks means वो बोलता है. It is kind of meaningful, na? Like
He speaks. वो बोलता, क्या बोलता, कब बोलता,
इसमें.
right? So why he speaks, where he speaks, when he speaks, right? How he speaks. We don't have
Okay.
complete information. So if
Right.
it doesn't have any complete information means it is not a sentence. It's a phrase, right? So he speaks, birds fly. So these are phrases, not the sentences. Got the
Right, sir.
difference? Yes. These are phrases. Now I'll give you the example, similar examples. So how can we identify whether it is a phrase or sentence? Speaks English. He speaks English, right? Birds fly in the sky. He speaks English. Birds fly in the sky, right? So he
You're
speaks.
right, sir.
What he speaks? He speaks English.
English.
Birds fly. Where they are flying? Birds fly in the sky.
You're
Right?
right.
So we have the complete meaning. But here, if you pose any question, we are not able to get the answer. But if you pose a question, here we are able to get the answer. Right? So it is giving
Right, sir.
complete. These are the two examples giving the complete meaning.
Information.
Yes, complete
Right.
information. Declaration. That is what called declaration. So
Right.
these kind of sentences can be mentioned are known as assertive or declarative sentences. They'll give
Right.
you a complete information. They declare some information. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, imperative sentences. Imperative sentences nothing but request, order, suggestion, right? So request, order, suggestion, any other things?
Request.
Request, order, suggestions, wish, right? So these are all can
Right.
be mentioned as imperative
Imperative.
sentences. So whether it is request or suggestion or command or wish or all these things can be mentioned as imperative sentences. For example, close the door, shut the door,
Please shut the door.
right?
Right.
So these are all can be mentioned as imperative statements. Close the door, shut the door, please shut the door. Would you mind to shut the door? Right? So these are all
Right.
we can mention as imperative sentences. All
Sentence.
suggestions, requests, orders, wish, commands, right? So these are all nothing but imperative statements. Imperative sentences and
Right.
imperative statements. Now the third type, interrogation. Interrogative sentences, nothing but questioning, question sentences, right? So whatever
Right.
the questions are there, how many types of questions are there? How many types of questions are there? Any idea
Uh,
about? Right. So tomorrow we will talk
WH.
about that types of questions point also. Right.
Okay, sir.
So let us discuss this concept today. Then tomorrow we will talk about that. Right. So
Okay.
interrogative sentences. Why tomorrow? Now only I'll complete that part also. Right. You can carry on. So first, let me tell you what is meant by interrogative sentences. Then I will give you the types of interrogatives also. Right. So
Right, sir.
interrogative nothing but questioning, inquiring or questioning. Right. So for example, what is your name? Is it your house? Right.
Right, sir. The questions are
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me the answer.
understood, sir. Means if we interrogate something
Yes.
like
Yes.
in a
Exactly. So,
questionnaire manner.
yeah. Interrogative sentence means questioning. That is. That's it. Right.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
interrogation is nothing but questioning, inquiring.
Mhm.
Right. So what is your name?
Yes.
It's a one kind of question. Is it your house? It's another kind. She is
Mhm.
beautiful. Isn't she? This is another kind. Right? I have given
Mhm.
three different examples for interrogative sentences.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
try to understand how many types of questions are there. So I have given 3 examples, right? So by
Right.
observing these 3, you will be able to understand how many types of questions are there.
What is your name? Means WH family.
Yes. So what is your name means WH family, right? How about the second one?
Is it your house?
Yes.
Uh, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
How about the third one?
She is a confirmation something
She is beautiful. Agency, right? So to
like
give you the
con
clarity about this concept, I'll give you uh, another name of WH questions and yes or no questions. By then you can easily understand that, right? There are two
okay.
types of questions, right? First type is QUASM method questions, right?
Okay.
Second type is ASM method questions. These are the two types of questions. Okay. So QUASM method questions are also known as open-ended questions, right? So
Is there any full form for QASM?
yeah, I'll tell you. So
Okay.
QUASM method questions are also known as open-ended questions. ASM method questions are also known as closed-ended, right? So
Right.
just forget about WH and SR no questions. This is also correct, but I'll give you more technically. You will be able to easily understand this concept, right? So QUASM
Okay, sir.
method questions and ASM method questions. There are only two types of questions: QUASM method questions, ASM method questions. So QUASM method questions are also known as open-ended questions. ASM method questions are also known as closed-ended questions, right? So first, let me tell you what is meant by open-ended, then closed-ended. Then after, I'll give you the full form of QEASM and ASM, right? So open-ended. For example, what is your name? So if I'm asking you the same question, what is your name? What is your answer?
My name is Himanshu.
Right? If you ask me the same question, can I say my name is Himanshu?
No.
Why?
It depends on person to person name, right?
Exactly. Right? So open-ended question means if someone asked a question, every person they will be given a chance to give their own answer.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of questions can be known as open-ended questions, which means
Okay.
if there is a question, there is a choice of answering.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas closed-ended question means, is it your house? Yes or no? Only two options. Is there any further chance to give the answer? Is
No.
it your house? You can say either yes or no. You can't explain it further.
Means declarative answers are there, huh?
Yes. So that's why these two yes or no questions known as closed-ended questions. ASM method questions
Okay.
known as closed-ended. There is no choice of giving the answer. But here QUASM we can give the answer.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now let me give you what exactly mean by QUASM and ASM. So QUASM, right? First,
Right.
let me give you a little bit of equation type of answer, then you will be able to easily understand. What is the first one?
Question.
Question word, right?
Right.
Second one,
Auxiliary verb.
yes. Third word,
Subject.
right? So QUAS
Right.
method means question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. This is the statement. This is the equation of QUAS method questions. So you just observe your question. What? Question word is there. Is. Auxiliary verb is there. Right? Your. Subject is there.
Subject is there.
Yes. How about the main verb? There is no main verb, right? So I'll tell you that
Right.
part. I'll give you that part a little later, right? So
Mm-hmm.
QUASM method means question word, auxiliary verb, subject plus main verb, right? So whereas ASM means you can figure it out easily. So what is the A here?
Auxiliary verb.
Exactly. Auxiliary verb.
Subject.
Yes. Next.
Main verb.
Yes. Right? So QUASM method means question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. ASM method means auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb, right? So these are the two methods of questions. Only two methods of questions, right? So if you observe, what is your name? There is no main verb, right? So is it your house? There is no main verb, right? She is beautiful,
Right.
isn't she? There is no main verb. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now I tell you what exactly mean by main verb, right? Verb. If you are talking about verb in what verb means, right? It's always included do form. Okay. So verb is
Okay.
nothing but doing. What is meant by verb? Acting or action, right? So doing is
Right.
also action,
Kriya.
right? Kriya. So don't forget that if you are talking about verb means doing form is already
Doing.
included in this. Okay.
Okay.
So here, what is doing?
Where?
So what is
English.
your house? Is acting as the main verb here. What is
Okay.
your name? It act as the main verb. Of course, it is a helping verb, but it act as the main verb. Similarly, is it your house? Is acting as the main verb. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
yeah, right. So what are you doing now? So here, if you observe, you can easily understand what is meant by QUASM method. So question word is there, right?
Right, sir.
So helping verb is there,
Are.
right? So now subject is also there.
Yes.
Next main verb is also there.
Doing.
Yes. So what are you doing now? What are you doing or what are you doing now? Right? I added just
Mm-hmm.
extra word. What are you doing? So question word is there. Auxiliary verb is there. Subject is there. Main verb is also there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is the simple thing we're supposed to keep in mind, that if you are talking about a verb in a sense, a verb always included do form, right? So
Right,
verb
sir.
always included do form. Now, Shall I rub it out?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now let me give you what is meant by do form. So these are the three forms of verbs are there in English language. How many forms? Be forms,
3.
do forms, and have forms. These are verb forms.
B, do, have.
Yeah, we can call them as verb forms. So these are all helping verbs, right? These are all
Okay.
helping verbs. We can call them as verb forms, right? So
Right.
let me tell you what are the be forms, what are the do forms, and what are the have forms. By then you can easily understand, right? So first be forms. Okay, am, is, or, right? Am, is,
Right.
or, they are in the present
B
tense.
forms.
Yeah, be forms in the present tense, right? So if it is the past tense, were,
Present.
yeah,
Was, were.
yes.
Past.
How about future? Right?
Right.
So am, is, or, was, were, will, or shall. These are be forms, right? So now let me give you the do forms. So what are the do forms over there? Do, does, right? In the past tense, did, right? In the
Right.
future, simple, will do or shall do, same. Will or shall, the same concept,
Right.
right? The same concept will be here also, right? So now the have forms.
Do,
Have,
does. Did.
has, have or has, right? So
Right, sir.
this is in present tense. So the past tense. So in the past tense, only had, right? Similarly, future, same.
Right, sir.
Will have, shall have, right? So in the future, no doubt we will be able to. We supposed to add same concept. Will or shall always. Okay. So these are all verb forms. Okay. So now what you're supposed to do is how we can use all these things in the different sentences. This is what we're supposed to understand. Okay, so just now we discussed four types of sentences, right?
Do. Right.
Declarative or assertive sentence. Second one, imperative. Third one, interrogative. And fourth one, exclamatory sentences. Right? Those are the 4 sentences we discussed. Right?
Right, sir.
Right. So now, how we are going to use these helping verbs, I mean verb forms in our statements for various sentences. Let's practice that. So first one, he speaks English. So just now I said, whenever you are talking about verb means verb always included do form, right? So we are,
Right, sir.
if you are talking about verb in the sense, it's always included a do form. That is what we discussed. So do form is there, right?
Right.
Okay. So let me change from the positive to imperative statement. For example, if you want to request someone to speak English, right?
Please
So please speak in English, right? So please, or
right.
could you please speak in English, right?
Right.
Could you please speak in English? Okay, so this is the positive statement. This is the imperative statement. And let me give you the interrogative. Does he speak English? So do form is there, right? So we just
Mhm.
take out the do form from the main verb. So does he speak English? So this is what interrogative statement. Okay.
Right, sir.
Then how about exclamatory sentence?
Something like क्या कहते हैं सडन और अचंभा क्या इंग्लिश में वर्ड नहीं आ रहा.
Yeah. Wow, he speaks English,
Wow.
right?
Right.
So this is the way how we can understand a positive statement. I mean, assertive statement, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory statements. Understood the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop here, right? So tomorrow we will
Right.
talk about the transformation of sentences.
Okay, sir.